The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning and welcome to BCIT's The Crow. I'm your host, Alessio Cusano, and here are your news headlines to 11:30. Israeli strikes have killed more than 270 Lebanese and wounded more than 1,000 others in the deadliest and most intense barrage since the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war. The strikes happened Monday as the Israeli military warned residents in southern and eastern Lebanon to evacuate their homes ahead of a widening air campaign against Hezbollah. Thousands of Lebanese fled the south, and the main highway out of the city of Sidon was jammed with cars heading toward Beirut in the biggest exodus since the 2006 conflict. The Israeli military announced that it hit some 300 targets, saying it was going after Hezbollah weapon sites. The Lebanese government has ordered schools to close and is preparing shelters for displaced people.
The solution, we all know, is political, is diplomatic, and certainly the Special Coordinator of the United Nations here is pushing very much in that direction. But as we see day after day, the situation is very difficult for civilians.
The federal New Democrats are urging the Liberals to recognize Palestinian statehood, warning that a conservative government would not protect international law in the Middle East. The NDP also want Canada to put more pressure on Israel to avoid escalating tensions following the strikes killing 270 people in Lebanon today. However, NDP Foreign Affairs critic Heather McPherson would not say whether she believes deadly pager explosions in the region last week amounted to terrorism.
We have called out the terrorist attack by Hamas. We have called out that we know that Hezbollah is a listed terrorist entity, but the Israeli government is breaking international law when they are using indiscriminate weapons, and the people of Lebanon are suffering. Children are suffering.
BC's election season is officially underway. Signs are out in public, and candidates are out making announcements prior to Election Day. BC NDP leader and Premier David Eby has promised 300,000 middle-class homes over the next decade if he is re-elected. BC Conservative leader John Rustad launched his campaign promising downing taxes relating to contend with a warming planet. Fall has started, which means time for rain, school, and sickness. In a study by the Canadian Mental Health Association, they say over 15% of Vancouverites struggle with seasonal depression when fall starts. Our reporter Emily Deneen explains some tools people use to cope.
Everyone has a different way of coping with stress. Some people go for walks, drive around, or even go to the gym. But for many, they turn to art as a form of stress relief. Pottery gives people the chance to focus on their hands and what they are creating. This allows people to focus their energy in their art instead of their stressors. When working with the clay, the artist can punch it, slap it, and mold their stress into something beautiful. Emily Deneen, BCIT's The Crow.
The 79th meeting of the United Nations General Assembly and the Summit of the Future continues in New York today. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is set to meet with the acting Prime Minister of Haiti, focusing on the ongoing crisis in Haiti. Prime Minister Trudeau urged fellow leaders to put their differences aside at this time, where the world faces increasing instability.
All of us gathered here have an opportunity to hold true to that mission, to fulfill the promise of our Pact for the Future to deliver fairness for every generation.
Trudeau will also make an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight. Iran's president accused Israel of seeking a wider war in the Middle East and laying traps to lead his country into a wider conflict. Masoud Pezeshkian told 24 media representatives Monday that Iran doesn't want to see the current war in Gaza and airstrikes across the Israeli-Lebanon border expanded. He said while Israel insists it does not want a wider war, it is taking actions that show otherwise. Pezeshkian pointed to the deadly explosions of pagers, walkie-talkies, and other electronic devices in Lebanon last week. Popular German festival Oktoberfest kicked off this weekend. The annual event, held in Munich, known for its beer and folk festivals, will run for 2 weeks, ending on the first Sunday in October. Those are your 11:30 news headlines. I'm Alessio Cusano, and you're watching BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow. This is 1680 The Crow, and you're listening to our feature presentation.